Today is 4th November. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish our Indian friends a happy Deepavali. On Wednesday, market opened positive but closed poor, down 12 points at 3219 with average volume. It is approaching very obvious overhead resistance here at 3237. Support is at 3200. Now looking at the weekly charts will give us some clarity. Notice where it's very strong upward move, and over the last 2 weeks trading small body. So if at all we need a catalyst to trigger a break on the upside, but we have to contend with overhead resistance over here. Now let's take a look at the S&P 500. Now mentioned previously that we have a series of narrow range bars, small bars, and it's a sign of weakness, and we see quite a deep retracement, but the recovery was equally strong. Notice a series of gap and managed to actually make all-time high. Notice the increase in range as well. Now we also notice similar patterns in the Nasdaq. After the retracement, staged a very strong upward move and managed to actually trade to all-time high. So US market is currently strong. Now about 350 component stock of the S&P 500s are above the 50 SMA, so it's actually slightly broad-based. I wouldn't say extremely strong, but slightly broad-based. This is a Brent crude. Now Brent crude approached a very obvious resistance at 86.74 and followed by these retracements, and the last previous section we have wide range reversal bar. And this is probably in reactions to the news that Iran is open to talks, and it may result in the lifting of the sanction, and then may actually increase supply of Brent crude to the market. Now let's turn our attention to some of the strong stocks we'll be discussing, and these stocks are likely to retrace. This is REC International. Notice very strong upward move, and over here itself we have a topping tail with high volumes. It's time to exit. Stock actually trade sideways with the retracement in Brent crude. Stock likely to actually move down. Again, we would like to see what happens subsequently, and perhaps stocks consolidates. We would like to actually look for eventual break on the upside. Now RA Petrogas has succumbed to selling much earlier when approaching this prior high. Notice it retraced on lower volume. Again, we like to see what happens if it can consolidate sideways. Give it some time, it may break on the upside. We have been discussing First Resources as well. This stock has succumbed to selling. Now I mentioned previously that after this extension bar, it's probably time to exit the trades. Stock likely to trade sideways or retrace. It did a combination of both. It actually traded sideways before its downward move, and notice the last 2 days volume has increased. Now this has probably had nothing to do with crude palm oil, because crude palm oil still managed to actually hold up very well. Now this is the November contracts of the crude palm oil. So you notice it's still fairly strong. The only thing is that the volume is not very high. If you compare that with golden agri, you notice actually this stock has been holding fairly well. Right, run up and it actually consolidate just below the resistance level. I'd like to see it take out 275 decisively with increased volume. The fact that this stock has a series tend to exhibit overlapping bar characteristics, it's probably better to actually treat it on the weekly charts. Again, notice actually very nice move, and followed by 4 weeks of sideways move. Again, look for decisive break above 275, 280. Now we see a breakout in Wilma, but unfortunately did not follow through. So run up, consolidate, very much like golden agri, but it staged a breakout, but we do not have very strong follow through. If make a high but close poor, again, like to see what happens. If we can trade sideways, that will be generally positive, and look for eventually break above this high here, which is at 456.